Hi guys, today I bring to you the C# and C# 9 features. So let's begin. Why am I? I am YouTuber, blogger, like you know, and solution architect at Clarinet. This I am. So index for today, not a little note about Visual Studio 19 to run the .NET 5 and talking about these features in C# 9. Top level statements, records with expression, init only setters, init accessors, and with only fields. Okay, pattern matching enhancements. All of these are new features, are more, but these are I put today to present to you. So let's see. You must update your Visual Studio 19. If you want use the .NET 5 and C# 9, the minimum version is 16.8, so update it and install the .NET 5 and try the version in your machine. Okay, after that we will begin programming. If you want, for example, see the version, you must .NET version, for example, and receive your version, right? So let's do it. So continue. Top level statements. What are top level statements? This is the console application. You know it. Java the same. Blah, 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 blah. At least 10 years doing this, right? So now this is the old school way. This is the new, and these top level statements. So we put the namespace and after we declare the instructions to run the code. So that's it, top level statements. You want to show some code? Why not? Let's run. So this code runs? The answer is yes, it runs. You see it? So the question is, if, for example, I catch this guy and this is a record, it's another type I will present today, and put this here and run, give them a error in compiler, give us top level statement must precede namespace and type declarations. Okay, don't forget this. After, it's very easy. You only need to put your code before your statements or class or definitions and so on. And of course, if you want, for example, you can create a namespace, for example, and remove it this from this and go to the your class. Where is it? Okay, I must create one. Why not? So let's do it. So I will create, for example, this class and put the class in this namespace, right? So this is the namespace, and I will, for example, this record, I will put, for example, in this. Why not? Or I use this. That's it. Let's try it in this way. So demo 1, and I will comment this. So now record namespace, I must include namespace. Where is it? This guy. Okay, the class. The class are white and are excluded from Visual Studio. So included. Okay, good. So you see it now. The namespace is this and class. So now is run again, right? So you must also include the namespace. So let's continue with our presentation. So this is top level statements, don't forget. So now record. What is the record? It's still a class, but with the record keyword. Embed the several additional value linker. For example, it's possible you compare all the properties and the dash code. The compiler generates for us the press statement string okay, giving us all the properties we have in the object and compares the object by these properties all and the type itself. So it's immutable by nature, and of course is the still reference types in that. So let's see something in the code, right? So let's see it in the code, what meaning's about. It's a little bit different for us, but I will try to, so I will remove now the namespace, run the code, run the code that compiles good. So now I uncomment this record and I will run. So if you see it, this is run. And now I will create two objects with the same properties. And this is two objects, and with the name, of course, will be different. So it's two reference objects, right? And if it is a class, what happens? Okay, this is giving us, for example, sorry, I will doesn't do it for example, a retriever object equals to the other, a clone. Okay, but that's it. Okay, the name, I change the name, so I will put here, and now let's see what happens about these two guys. Okay, it's a colon and it's the same because the equalities now it's a little bit different than class. It compares the objects about the properties and the type. Okay, if you try to do this with the class, okay, and try see what happens. Of course, in the namespace, the width don't works with this, and the initialization of the class is a little bit different, of course. So I will put the code in that way. So now I have the class, right? And for us, if I compare the toString of this object, what give us, it's true again, because it compares only, if you see here, the type, right? So in one case, it compares the type and of course the properties. Let's see it. Make a brief again. Okay, it compares all the properties and the type and give us true. But yet about the for example, the get hash code, you expected the same between the records and the class. So let's see it. In the hash codes of one object, he gave us in the records, he gave us the equality. Like I said, it's always based in the same string and of course the object type. So the objects are equals, but in the class, this is different because the value of the object is only value types. So it's different. Okay, so if you want use the get hash codes with records, be careful because it gives us only equals and so on. It's not to be careful. It's interesting because if you want, for example, compare all the objects, it's only get hash code and you know the objects are um, equals and so on, and the properties. So compiler generates for us the some methods in that is the print members into string overrides the toString for us, and of course the get hash code with the equalities and compares the type of the objects with, for example, abstract the seal, and the the record itself. Okay, type based with more the properties. Don't forget that. So let's continue to another point. So you see some code. So now records permit us inherence and positional. This is the old school. This is new. Positional records. Okay. So it's another interesting aspect. Okay, if you want make this old school inherence, but if you see here is more readable and more clean code, and of course using the init set levels. Records permit expansion. What is support? What is expansion? It's to create copies of the record, but with the specific properties modified if we are on. Okay, I talking a little bit about init only setters. Okay, what is init? This is the init only setters. Okay, and is this also init access and read only fields? Yeah. Is this a particular term because you can access to the read-only fields, but only internationalization, okay, because it's mutated, right? But only in the initializer of the class. Okay, so this is the pattern matching enhancements. Okay, if you see here, this person, I will see if it is not null, and the number 10, I can do it in this way. For example, use the pattern enhancement number. Okay, if the number is major 10, 9, and minor 10, 10, or 10, the number or the major again 10 9 and minor of 10 or 10 or 10 or 10. So this is pattern enhancement. It's better than, for example, you can put here e and e and so on. So this is a new way to make the pattern enhancements about something, right, and more clear to write your code. So demo code about enhancements in ethers and something and with expressions, right? So let's see first the with expressions with a record. For example, I will create a record. I will comment off all this. I don't want more this. So let's begin, continues. So now I will put here the person, myself, right? Why not? So this is the record, first name, last name, right? And he gave us, okay, we need two constructors, so why not? I will go here and of course give him a better way approach to the constructors using positional records. You remember that? So for example, I can put this in this way and of course person. Amazing, right? But all I did is this, put together init statements, init only setters, but in the records, okay, you can use positional records, right? So now everything is good here. So don't forget, this is a top level statement. This is a console application, okay? If you don't know, go to the beginning of this video. So now I use the make a clone, paste it with with the expression, right? So for example, I put the clone, okay, cloned person, so I will clone it. So now in another way I must create, so now with right, and after I will clone all the objects I want, for example this. So I have a clone of this. So give me a console application, show you. So now let's see it. Let's see it. The properties to string and run. So you see it? It's a clone of the record with expressions. But for example, if you want only the first or the last one, you do in this way and copy the others, right? And put what you want here. So now we have a clone with A and last. The first name is A, last name. So you copy, okay, what you want based in with. Imagine this with a Hudge object or records, okay, with Hudge properties and so on, so on, so on. It's amazing, right? So let's continue with the initializers. For example, we will see the init. For example, I have here another question about the init. So let's see it, this demo about the init setters. Okay, I have these init setters. So now I want this init setter. Okay, so I must import the namespace. That's imported. So now I have this init setter. So guys, don't forget, init setters only works to declare first init setters. You must put the init here. Okay, and of course after that you can only do this, okay, and you'll work with this class. It's not more immutable. If you want change something, for example property, right, give us error because the init only property or indexer can only be assigned in the object initializer, right? So you must use init only for the objects you want, not your customers or the objects or the class and others consumers. You instance it your object or make sets. So we prevent the code about it, right? So let's continue with the last one demo, right? So I will talking about now about the another interesting point is the pattern matching enhancements. So guys, this is wow. So I have a class, for example, this guy, I will put here, if it is not null and this number are, for example, so I will close the code and I will put these two down. And so now I have a number and the class or a record, right? And for example, if it's not null and number is something like that, I will print this. So let's see it. This is pattern matching enhancement. It's very, very useful to us to to use in some operations in the code, right? So code is this. So let's run again and print the message, right? So if you want to change the logic, right, it's very easy. If, for example, the number is, for example, is not null or is null, okay, you print after that, or for example, number, you change it. You understand the idea here, right? So you don't print because the rules don't receive it. Don't forget, the other way you can do it is, for example, number, you put something like that. In the old-fashioned way, you can put this, and then is replaced by E, and after you can put the R, remember this, and the number again, and of course the number again, and of course the R, and of course E, right? I will remove all this, so right, everything about it, it's a little bit different to do, right? Because you lose your focus doing things like that, right? For example, number operator can be applied to operate boolean and int. Okay, something like okay, here e number, and you see it, the difficulty to do and put this everything good, and of course the R, it's not in this way you can put, but this is the old-fashioned way to do this, right? The pattern matching is better, and of course don't forget the R, it's more, for example, number or 10, right? It's annoying, the old-fashioned way, my goodness. So don't forget, pattern matching enhancements is the wow stuff programming, right? So guys, if you liked this video, please thumbs up in the channel and subscribe, share the channel with the others, and see you soon in another video with more demos. If you want more explanation about something I show you in this video, please ask me, send me your comments, and follow me in the canteen.net, and I will put some informations below in the commentary of the video. Okay, so see you soon and bye bye.